Hello, welcome to D&H Innovation. We are Caesar's distribution partner in the UK. You can order full range of current Caesar scanners from our online store at www.dhinnovation.co.uk. For book and document scan, we are confident that Czur ET-16 Scanner is the fastest and best in its class. It may take you some time to get familiar with all its functions, but it will be worth it. In this video, we are going to walk you through the main settings and functions of the recently updated Caesar Scanner software version 16.3.1111.1. In this software update, the scanning and image processing speed, book curve correction, and finger removal functions have been improved considerably. Okay, let's start the Caesar Scanner software. Choose Scanner, click on the Settings icon at the top right corner to bring up the Software and Scanner Setting menu. Under the System menu, you can review the software version and Scanner's firmware version. As you can see here, this is the latest Caesar Scanner software, version number 16.3.1111.1, which was released on 11 November 2016. Please note that you must update your scanner's firmware to 2016.9.1a SPI or later in order to use the new software. For instructions on how to update the scanner's firmware, please visit caesar.co.uk. That's czur.co.uk. Under the Language tab, you can choose the software's interface language from Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, and English. Under the Help tab is the link to Caesar's technical support page. Now, let's go to the scanner settings. The first option is the frequency setting. As ET-16 can be used as a visualizer, you may want to adjust the frequency to fit your local TV standard. Here in the UK, we will choose 50 Hz. Customers in the USA or Japan shall choose 60 Hz as you are in the NTSC zone. Under the Resolution tab, you can set the image resolution from 16 megapixel, 5 megapixels, 8 megapixels, or set your own custom resolution. When setting your own image resolution, please bear in mind that the maximum image resolution of ET-16 is 16 megapixels, so that is 4608 by 3456. Also, you will need to keep the aspect ratio at 4:3. The higher image resolution you choose here, the larger scanned image you will get by the end. In this demo, we are using ET-16's default resolution at 16 megapixels. The next setting is the DPI setting, as what you can find in almost all scanners on the market. The highest DPI you can get from ET-16 is 300, while 250 DPI is the default setting, which is sufficient for book scan and OCR functions. The last scanner setting is the image format setting. Currently, the only image output option is JPG or JPEG. However, you will have the option to convert and export the scanned images to PDF, TIFF, and Word format, which we will show you later in this demo. You can also specify the output image quality here from low to high. In this demo, we are choosing the default setting as medium. Okay, that's all for the software and scanner settings. Let's go back to the software's main interface. At the top left corner, you will find the icons for Scan, Archive, and Bulk. Clicking on the Scan icon will start a new scan job. Clicking on Archive will start OCR and image export. Clicking on Bulk will give you more after-scan processing options. We will go through the archive and bulk functions later. Let's start a simple scan first. To start a new scan job, just click on the scan icon and you will see the preview window turns up, which will show you what the scanner's camera sees in real time. Before scanning the object, please make sure the black background pad is placed properly underneath the scanner's camera and fully occupies the preview window, otherwise scanning and image processing errors will occur. As you can see here, we now have the preview window fully occupied by the black background pad, so the scanner is ready to go. Before pressing the scan button, you will need to set some scan preferences at the right-hand column. First, tell the scanner in which color mode you want the images to be scanned. You can choose from color, seal, grayscale, and black and white. If you prefer to keep the original image color, choose color. If you wish to get the image scanned in grayscale or black and white, choose the respective color mode as you prefer here. The seal option is for scanning official documents with seals or stamps on. In some countries, like most Asian countries, seals or stamps are widely used and sometimes are required for official documents in order to make them valid. Under the seal mode, the seals or stamps on the documents will be highlighted and their color will be kept as original to comply with local documentation practice when it is required. The next step is to choose the processing mode. If you are scanning a single page or just flat documents which do not require page curve correcting, you should choose flat and single page mode for faster and accurate processing. If you are scanning bound documents like most of the books which have a curved page, you should choose the curved dual page mode so the scanner will automatically flatten the scanned image and correct any curves it detected. You also have the option to choose the original photo mode. Under this mode, the scanner will simply take still images of the scanned object without any image processing. If you made a mistake in choosing the right scanning preference, you can still adjust the images after they have been scanned at the after image processing stage later. However, it is always recommended to choose the right scanning preference according to your needs to avoid unnecessary time waste on after image processing. In this demo, we are going to scan a few pages from The Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Since this is a book, we choose the curved dual page mode. Here at the bottom of the preview window, you can find the exposure setting. By default, the scanner will set the exposure in auto. However, if you do wish to increase or decrease the exposure, for example, if you are scanning a glossy page, you may wish to decrease the exposure to minimize the light reflection on it. As you can see from the preview window, when we increase the exposure value, the book looks brighter than it was in the auto mode. For most of the book scan jobs, we will recommend you to keep the exposure setting in auto. To the right of exposure setting, you can see a link to the online video tutorial by Caesar. When you start up the scanner software for the first time, it will say 5 times left, which has confused some users before. Don't worry about that. Caesar just wants to prompt you to watch their tutorial video, and obviously they believe watch it 5 times is enough to get used to the scanner. After you click that link 5 times, the reminder information will go away and bother you no more. To record this demo video, we are using the foot pedal instead of clicking the scan button on the software for convenience. When you do not have access to the foot pedal or the hand shutter release button, you can always click on the scan button in the software interface or the scan button at the base of ET-16 to scan the object. Okay, now we are all set to start the scan. Since the scan object is a book, with curved page, first we need to press on the pages with our fingers to make sure the book's page stay still while being scanned. It is worth mentioning that the position to place your fingers is important. You should place just one finger on each side of the book and place the finger in the middle of the book edge to avoid image processing errors. If you placed more than one finger on each of the book edges, the finger removal function won't work properly and the auto image processing may fail to work properly. Also, in this latest version of Czur Scanner software, you no longer need to wear the finger cover in order to make the finger removal function to work, which is a main improvement on the previous versions. Now, let's start scanning from page 1 of the book. We will scan 11 pages to show you the speed of the scanner. One thing to mention, because we are recording this video with Adobe Captivate program, which consumes large amounts of processor load and system memory, the Czur Scanner software runs about 40% slower than normal. The image processing speed in normal cases will be much faster than you saw in the video. Because this demo is recorded from the Czur software, you won't see the laser beams which are cast onto the scanned pages. When you are scanning with ET-16, each time when you press the scan button, you will see 3 laser beams cast onto the scanned object, and those laser beams will remain on for about half second. The laser beams are used to detect the object's curve, and it is a good indicator to tell you the scan is in process. When the laser beams disappear, you are ready to scan the next page. As you can see, all we need to do here is to press the foot pedal to scan the page, wait for the laser beams to disappear, turn to the next page and press the foot pedal again. We recorded the video in real time so you can have a clear idea about how long will it take to do the scan. We will say scanning one page just takes about 1.5 seconds. Don't forget, for book scans, one scan like this is actually scanning 2 book pages in the same time, which means you get one book page scanned in less than 0.75 seconds, which is amazing. Okay, now we have 11 pages scanned, and that shall be enough for the demo purpose. As you can see here at the top of the right-hand column, there are 2 indicators, processed and scanned. The scanned number is the total number of the images the scanner captured. In this case, it is 11, and the processed number is the total number of images the scanner has processed. As mentioned earlier, the scanner software is running slow because of the Adobe Captivate program running in the background. Therefore, the processing speed here may look a bit slow. Normally, the gap between the scanned number and the processed number should be around 3 or 4 pages only. To show you the current CPU and memory usage of our PC, we're opening the Task Manager. As you can see here, our PC is running slow. The Adobe Captivate program has used more than 40% of the CPU capacity. When you are scanning with ET-16, to get a fast image processing, it is better to kill any other heavy programs temporarily, even when they are running in the background. Now the image processing is completed. As you can see, 11 pages have been processed here. We can now close this window and back to the main software interface. At the right column, you can see the processed images are listed here in a temporary library. You can click on any of the images to review the scan and processing result. As you can see, the book pages have been scanned automatically flattened, the curve is corrected, the fingers have been removed perfectly. You can review all the pages and check if there is any processing error. In this case, all pages have been scanned and processed perfectly as we expected. Under each scanned page you can see there are 4 options: delete, rescan, insert and information. If you do not need a specific page, for example, a blank page, you can delete it from the library. If any of the pages has a processing error, you can choose to rescan that specific page. The rescan function won't change the sequence of the pages. For example, if you choose to rescan image 2 here, the new image will simply replace the old image and its sequence number will remain unchanged. If you missed any pages while scanning, you can choose to insert a new page. The new scanned image will be added to the library right after the selected page. If you wish to review the image size and time information, click on Info. It will give you the details of the image's size and modified time. Underneath the preview window is the After Processing menu. As mentioned previously, if you failed to choose the right scanning preference as you need from the start, you can do it in the After Processing. For example, here we want to change the processing mode from color to grayscale. We click on Grayscale. It will show you how the image will look in grayscale. Here is how it looks like in seal and in black and white mode. Further under, you will have the screen display options. The first option is to move the image around as you see here. Then is the adaptive width display. It will let the image fully occupy the preview window horizontally. Next is the adaptive height display, which will let the image to fully occupy the preview window vertically. The one-to-one display will show the full size of the image. Next are the editing tools. First is the Select tool. With this tool you can select part of the image and move its position on the image. Next is the Cut tool, which allows you to crop the image. Under Crop tool, you can choose to leave the selected part of the image in the original position or just cut the selected part and discard the original image. After that is the Rotation tool, which allows you to rotate the image clockwise or counterclockwise, flip it horizontally or vertically, or you can rotate it freely at any angle. Next is the Image Adjustment tool. It allows you to adjust the contrast, accutance and purity of the scanned image. And the next is the Reset button. By clicking on this, it will undo all the editing you've made and reverse the image back to the auto-processed condition. Next is the Quick OCR button. It will run OCR on the single image in the current view and export it to a Word file. Next is the Processing Mode selection. It allows you to choose the image processing mode in case you did not set it right at the beginning of the scan. The last option is the Assist Processing Adjustment. It allows you to adjust the laser line position on the scanned image. It will become useful if you get error on the auto image processing. Now let's look at the export options. By clicking on the Archive icon, you will see 4 export options: PDF, Searchable PDF, OCR and TIFF. Let's try to export all the scanned images to a single TIFF file. First, we need to select all the images we want from the library. By clicking Select, All, we now have all the scanned images selected. then click on TIFF Export option. The export menu will turn up. Set your export preferences here. In this case, we prefer to have the images in grayscale. Next, you can choose the compression mode from no compression, LZW compression, JPEG compression, and Group 4 compression. If you're exporting to TIFF, I'm sure you're familiar with those compression types. In this case, we choose LZW compression as the scanned book images may require perfect reconstruction when decompressed. When you've done all the settings, click Confirm. It will ask you where you want to store the exported files. Specify the file store route, give it a name, and click on Save. The export process will start, and the progress window will show you up to tell you exactly what the software is doing and close itself when the export is done. Okay, it's done. Now let's have a look at what the exported file looks like. Here is the file. As you can see, the image quality is excellent and all the texts and images are clear. We're quite happy about that. Now, let's go back to the scanner software to see what the other export options do. Here are the other options. PDF option will export all the selected images to a single PDF file. Searchable PDF option will combine all the selected images, run OCR on them, and export them to a searchable PDF file. Let's make a quick test here. Again, remember we have the Adobe Captivate program running in the background to record this demo, so the OCR speed will be dragged slow. OK, first we selected all the scanned images. Click on Searchable PDF. You'll need to specify the OCR recognition language. On the left hand are the most frequently used languages. On the right-hand box, you will find all the support languages. The OCR engine is provided by the industry leader ABI, so you won't be caught short of supported OCR language options. Almost all the main languages in the world are supported here. Since the book we scanned is in English, we just choose English as the recognition language, then click Confirm. Choose the export file store location and name it. Click on Save. The OCR and export process will start with a progress indication window. When the whole process is done, you will be informed with a link to the exported file. Let's click on the file link to open it. Here is the exported searchable PDF file. As you can see here, all the texts on the file are now selectable, which means the OCR is successful. If you have Adobe Acrobat, you can even edit the exported file. Here we will search for Newton and try to replace it with Man of God. OK, that is done. As you can see, the exported file is fully searchable and editable. Now let's go back to the scanner software to keep exploring. The OCR export option here will run OCR on the selected images and export them to a single Word file. So now we've looked at all the export options. Let's keep on looking at the bulk processing functions. When clicking on bulk, you will have the following options: color mode, processing mode, page splitting, rotate, cut, delete, standardize, and rename. The color mode processing mode, rotate, cut and delete functions are pretty similar to the adjustment functions for single image we demonstrated earlier. However, this time all adjustment you make under the bulk menu will be applied to all the images in your selection instead of just one single image. The page split adjustment is to split dual page image into two single images. As you may notice, so far the scanned images we've got contains two book pages actually, and in all the exported files we tested earlier, there are two book pages on a single page. In the real world, when you are scanning books, you may prefer to split the scanned images to single book pages for easy reading on your computer or e-reader, etc. And that is where the page split function comes helpful. To split the images, first we select the images we want to split, click on Page Split, choose the direction of book's layout, in this case we choose left to right, then click Confirm, choose the export folder location, click on Select Folder. The splitting process will start and complete in seconds. Now let's have a look at the split images. As you can see here, the original 11 images we selected have been split into 22 single images in sequence perfectly. Now what we want to do is to work on the split images other than the dual page images. To do this, we will need to import the folder which contains the split images to the temporary library of the scanner software. Click on the Import button at the right-hand column, select the folder we want to import. It will warn you that all files in the current library will be cleared and you will no longer be able to edit them. Click on Confirm to proceed on. As you can see now, we have 22 images in the library, and all those pages are the split images from the previous export. You can review all the images from the preview window. In this case, we do not want this blank page, so we click on Delete to remove it. Now, all the split images we want are here, so we can export them to PDF or TIFF files or run OCR on them and export them to searchable PDF or Word file like we did earlier. For the time being, we won't show you that again here, but you can download the demo export files from our website. The link is listed in the video description below. The standardize options allow you to change the format, DPI and background color setting of the selected files. You may find it useful when you want to customize the look of the exported files by your own preference. The rename option allows you to rename the scanned images in bulk. Again, those options are for your convenience and you can set it according to your own preferences. Okay, so now we have gone through all the scan functions in this new Czur scanner software, and we hope you will find this video helpful. If you have any questions, please be free to contact us.